Hello everyone, it's John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video I'm going to show you something very different to the norm. It is Virgin Games Wild Seat Poker. Now, why is it different? Well, it's not poker as you know it. You don't go into a poker lobby, you don't search for cash games or tournaments or sit and goes. This is one game which is part of the Virgin Games experience, and it's called Wild Seat Poker. Now, what is Wild Seat Poker? Well, to compare it to other things, it's a spin and go, just like on PokerStars. This time, 4 people register, so it's one table, 4 players. You get 400 chips to start, blind start 10-20, and you get 140 seconds per level. So it's kind of in between that turbo and hyper turbo speed range. Also, the winner's prize is better than a spin and go. It's incredible. You get between 2 times and 10,000 times your buy-in. And you can play £1, £2, £4, £10 games, and they even run cool tournaments. But I'm going to just talk about the actual Wild Seat games. I'm going to load up one at a time and play them and make this a 4-part series. And we're just going to load up one table. We're going to play it. I'm going to show you some strategy. I'm going to just talk about the game itself. And if you want to get signed up and play, the links are below. So I'm going to load up a table and we'll get going. Just as we're getting registered to this £1 buy-in version, I just wanted to show you a really important part of this, and that is the fact that the prize is random. Now, when you play a spin and go, say on PokerStars, what you're going to find is it spins and you know what you're all playing for, and you're all going to be playing for that set amount. So, say you register for a pound one, it might say, okay, £2, and that's what everyone plays for. This is different. You get individual jackpots, so everyone's paying for a different amount, and you don't know what that amount is until you lose and bust out or win. So just to explain again, it's a random prize which you don't know until the end of the game, and you're all on different prizes, okay? I hope I cleared that up. These are the rules, and it just basically adds such a fun element, because say you bust out, and you're like, oh my god, I could have won like $5,000. Like, you just don't know. So it kind of sinks in such a different way. Same thing when you win, your heads up. You could be playing for £10,000, or you could be playing for £2. You do not know. So you have to play your top game all of the time. You know, there is no time here to, you know, sit back and make mistakes, because you could literally have £10,000 in your box. So anyway, loading up a table. Okay, so we've registered and we're now waiting for players. And I just thought I would just show you this whilst waiting. Really cool interface, lovely game, smooth, fun, chat area going off on the side. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, these are recreational players. There is money to be made, there is fun to be had. And yeah, everyone's here. So now, right, what we can see the table, we can see we're playing. And in front of all our names, the question mark box, which actually looks like the deal or no deal box quite a lot. So under there is, I bought in for £1, is going to be £2 or £10,000. We have no idea. This is all recorded live, so we'll find out together. And the same thing goes for the other players. We don't know what they're playing for. They don't know what they're playing for. So it is pretty fun indeed. First hand, I opted to fold. And we see a 4-6-7. Basically, we are not having to all in or fold just yet. We can definitely get away with some blind steals, but generally we will be thinking about the value of our hand if we can call shoves, and if it would just be better to shove pre. So say if a weaker hand like deuces through to 5s, we might want to just shove pre, but say a really strong hand like ace, king, aces or kings, we can just min raise. Here though, 7 deuce suited will be a fold. 20 big blinds. There is a lot of limping in these games. I've noticed that from just when I've been playing around and practicing. There's an awful lot of limping. 7 deuce suited here, bottom pair, bad kicker. We just get a check here and hope it checks around and we improve on the turn. Or somehow go to showdown and win. Sadly though, we face a bet here, pot size bet and a call, so we're going to go ahead and fold. Turns another 10, brings the backdoor flush draw. So yeah, this is very different. This is, you know, maybe not for some of you, you know, multi-tabling regulars. But if you want to make money out there and have some fun, then yeah, get signed up and come and join me. There will be a forum thread about this as well. And of course, you will see it across the site. A6 off here is quite an interesting decision. We have less than 20 big blinds. We have some dead money in there. We assume everyone's weak. So I think jamming here is better than calling. And I certainly think it's better than making it 80. So I think we should either call or go all in. And I think going all in is probably the best here because there's money to be picked up. Sadly, we run into a slow played pair of queens. We flop 3 of a kind. He turns out and we make quads on the river. Bad beat for him. So bad beat. Would have won £5, but sadly he didn't know that, so he's out. What do I think about his slow play? I wouldn't do it. I think queens are a bit too vulnerable, personally. When you're going to be playing 4-way, I think he's going to run into a lot of bad flops and not get the maximum out of his money. So I'd have just raised it pre if I was him to say 80 and hope to have got some action behind. So we got a little bit lucky there, but we are 30% against queens. So, you know, with all that money in there, the fact we could have 10 grand, you know, whatever, let's go. Bet 80 into 160 here on a queen 8, king, queen 9. Gets called by jack 10. He could have probably found a raise there. It's hard to make full houses. And you, like I say, this is all about getting the max. Like, you have to get the maximum amount of value. Jack 9 suited here, very easy defend. Just going to go for a call. And we see a deuce 5-7 with 1 club flop. Not ideal. One thing to note is he does have a really short stack, but I didn't want to go all in pre-flop with my jack 9, nor did I think it was weak enough to go ahead and fold. He checks it down here, so I'm going to have to go ahead and bet, and I'm just going to go half pot. If he's got any pair, I think he calls me, but I'm relying on the fact that he might have like ace 10 and fold. So I'm just trying to put him under pressure and win that money in the pot. 151's a lot, you know, in these things. And we'll show him it. We'll show him the jack 9. So like I say, if someone shows weakness, pounce on it. 8-10 suited. I think we're just going to go all in here. And there's 45 in the middle. He's, you know, only got about 7 big blinds back. Our hand plays well versus anything apart from over pairs. So say he's got ace queen or something, we're still around 40%. Can obviously call with worse as well, who knows. Ace is on the button again. I'm going to just go for a min raise. I don't want to scare people off. I want action. My hand is vulnerable 3-way-ish, but I'm happy to take that chance. JG folds, which is good for us. Because we go heads up versus Kev, who open jams. We call quickly. He's dead to running jacks. He hits it. Wow, how sick is that? Oh my god, we got the ace-6 versus queens was sick enough, but this guy just open punts with jack deuce and hits perfect. How crazy. Wow, that is absolutely insane. His play is obviously really bad. You know, pre-flop, he should just be folding. He shouldn't really be calling, you know, about a quarter of his stack off with jack deuce suited. Flop, the fact he jams, I mean, it's probably better than check folding, but obviously I'm going to be there to call a lot with my aces. But yeah, he should just fold free, and definitely don't advise on playing the hand like he did. These 4 videos are all going to be 15 minutes in length. Depends how many games we get in, but I'd expect anywhere between 3 and 4 per video. And it's a 4-part series. You can come and play. We'll hang out and we'll talk in the chat as well. We'll arrange a cool time to do that. 10-6, I'm going to opt to fold. The blinds have just gone up to 20-40, so now we've only got around 12.5 big blinds. Limp here by Grandad Kev, 63, who I believe is probably a Grandad called Kev, born in 1963. You know, there are some telltale signs, let's face it. As poker pros, we know how to spot the weak players. Gets an all-in and a quick call from ace-5. He does not manage to get lucky that time, so we are heads up. And Grandad Kev, 63, would have won £2. Okay, so let's hope we win this and we've got a big jackpot. Obviously, I don't want to lose it and see £10,000 on video because I'll never live it down. Gonna go all in here. King 10's obviously a very strong hand, heads up. There's money in the middle. We don't have many big blinds, so it makes it a pretty easy jam. Jack 5 here, I'm going to opt to fold. It's just a bit too weak to do anything with. A7, we will not be folding, and we will be wagering all of our chips. Ace is heads up. You know, any ace heads up is so strong for, you know, 13 big blinds. He calls. We need an ace. We need an ace on the river. We do not win that one. JG with pocket 8 wins. He played that hand perfectly. And we would have only won £2. Thank you. Thank the Lord. I couldn't have lived that down. But yeah, we're going to load up another one and be straight back. Okay, so registered, and there's 3 of 4 sat waiting. So we're just waiting for one more player. The the water is warm. They should come on in. Got a little bit unlucky in that last one. Obviously, the Jack Deuce versus my aces hand was what really hurt us. Oh, this Mel 68 looks nice. Grandad Kev back in again. Chris and Kate, I imagine this guy's name is, ready to battle. But yeah, that Jack Deuce suit hurt us, but we played our hand perfectly, and we played all of our hands perfectly fine as well, so long term we're going to win. Getting a good price here for the 3-9 off, but 3-9 off is never really getting that good of a price. And of course, we have to watch the people behind who can raise. So, we would have been calling, we would have then had to call again, getting, 6-1 doesn't help. Just get it folded and, hope these guys basically just knock each other out, which might happen. Deuce 3 Jack, 2 diamonds. Grandad Kev raises, then folds. All in and a call. Wow, that escalated quickly. Top 2 pair versus quads. And Chris and Kay says nice hand and leaves with their £5 box. Well, that was crazy. These games are pretty wild. Going to be a very easy all in here. Ace 3 suit. It's going to be 30% against anything apart from aces themselves. Obviously going to be a good favourite versus hands like King Queen, King Jack, King 10, Jack Queen, and so on. 9-4 is going to be a muck. King Jack 7, 2 spades. A check call from Mel. Ace of spades on the turn, so a flush completes, as does a straight. And Grandad Kev takes it down. King Queen, we will not be folding this hand. This is an all-in, even though Grandad Kev has raised. We block hands like kings, queens, ace king, and ace queen. And yeah, it's just so strong, three-handed, with this amount of big blinds. We're flipping. We need a king, queen, or diamond. On the river. Brick. That's a bit unfortunate. But we got it in 50-50. Flop was good for us in the sense that we added a diamond onto our outs. Jack Deuce going to fold here. Obviously, I'm very wary. We're down to 5 big blinds. But Jack Deuce there, we don't want to make up the blind, we don't want to raise, we don't want to go all in. We're going to fold and hopefully wake up with a hand next on the button that we can just jam. If not, then we'll probably be all in when it comes to our next big blind. We have 6-7 off. It's pretty close here. I think this is going to be a jam though, just because Grandad Kev likes to fold a lot. He hasn't been just calling wide. We need an 8, a 3, a 6, or a 7. We hit, no Jack or Queen. Nice. We make 2 pair there and get the double up. Good call by Mel there with Jack Queen. Could not knock that call at all. Pretty standard for them. 6-8 suited here. We're going to go ahead and check our option. Could maybe jam on Grandad Kev because he is notoriously a bit nitty. I'm going to jam here. It is kind of suicidal in the fact that he calls me with just any 8 or king or whatever, but with the size of the pot on my stack, it's better to just go all in than to call, because if we call and we break the turn, then we miss. We get it in versus a worse flush draw here, guys, and that's another part of it as well. We can sometimes get called by worse or have lots of equity versus anything. Ace Queen, all in again. Let's get this run going, guys. Let's get this run going. Blinds up to 15-30, of course. I'm happy to get a call. Ace Queen is so strong. I'll show it to them. I'll let them have a peek what I'm playing with. 3-8, terrible hand, going to muck that. Mel sat out here, which is interesting. Means I should be going all in pretty much every time she's in the blind. Jack Deuce from Kev's going to be a check. I'm going to bet once here and just hope he folds. We just have no equity. So, if he's got like King 10 and we get him to fold, that's awesome. But yeah, he check jams, which is fine. But basically, we can just check give up, or we can just take one stab at it and be one and done. Unless we turn to Jack, then we can just start betting for value. Queen 10 suited will be an all in here. Nice to see a flop with this kind of hand, but also good to just put pressure on. 60 in the middle to win, More than 10% of our stack just sat out there. So when we look at the equity of our hands versus that, then these jams are all so profitable. King 10, obviously an all-in. Just happy to keep shutting them. And we're catching up. We're catching up to Mel, going for that chip lead. 6-3 off. Hopefully they all just fold, because this hand is garbage. We get a limp here by Mel. I don't really advise limping that much in these hyper and turbo short-handed games. We should be playing very aggressive, all in or fold or just raising. Problem with limping is it's just always going to be quite hard to play hands post flop, and you're going to miss out on some value. And you also, when you're weak, what you're going to do is you're just going to be giving away chips. So yeah, we're just going to fold our 6-3 here. Obviously, nothing we can do. We're in the big blind. It's always going to be a check. Interesting here. Bet by Grandad on the 9 and a fold by Mel. I'm not too sure what Mel's playing at there. But we're all very even in stack now. Jack 3 is going to be a fold. Bet here on a 10 Jack Queen, 2 clubs. Quick call by Mel. Deuce of diamonds on the turn. 200 in there, and wow, an all in by Mel here. It's a huge bet there. Repping some sort of straight or 2 pair, or maybe some sort of combo draw. Jack 4 again is going to be a muck. And this will be the last game of the video. Said they're going to be 15 minutes long. Maybe the 20 minutes, that's fine. The idea of this is just to give you all a sneak peek at this pretty incredible game. And like I say, it's nothing we've done before. It's normally just, standard poker sites that we deal with. But we know there's just a lot of money to be made here, and the game is super fun. All in here by Grandad Kev on a 7-5-4-5 deuce. Mel's having a little think about it, a little dwell up, and a fold. So Kev takes the chip lead there. Still very close though, 5-6-5, 5-15, 5-20. And we wake up with the snowmen, pocket 8s. We are not folding. We're going for it all. Oh, that's a shame. Come on, Grandad Kev, give us a spin. Queen 6 suited. I'll be going all in blind versus blind. I think this is an okay spot for us to call. Queen 6 suited is just kind of borderline. We don't want to fold, we don't want to jam, so calling's cool. Queen high suited, mediocre kicker. I guess it's probably a bad kicker, but could be worse. And we're going to fold this flop. We're not going to try and chase. We don't expect our 6 to be that good. 5 on the turn, so straights get there. Mel's only got a pot size bet behind, and she led half pot here. Repping a 9. And all in by Grandad Kev. Oh, pocket 4s. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be a fold, really. Lower straight versus the higher straight. King 7 now versus Jack 3. Jack needs a board pair or a 3. Doesn't get it. And we're heads up versus Mel 68. Who I believe is called Mel and was born in 1968. £3 there for Grandad Kev. Nothing major for him to feel sad about. King Jack will be all in with his hand. We will call an all in, or we will just go all in. We have just over 10 big blinds. Jack Queen's going to be an all in as well. We need a Jack or a Queen, a King or an 8. Nothing's changed. Way, we make a straight on the river. Good call there by Ace 3. All very standard stuff. 3-6 will be a fold. Hopefully Mel just folds though. That'd be nice of you, wouldn't it, Mel? Nope, not going to do it for me. Fair enough. $5-7 is going to be a fold. $6-8 suited. If she limps, I check. If she min raises, I call. If she goes all in, I fold. That's pretty much what I'm thinking right now. Okay, we're going to check. See a flop. Nice hand to see a flop with. Yeah, we flopped the dummy end of the straight, so this is just going to be a fold. If we hit a 7, yes, we might be ahead, but how much value do we get? If we hit a queen, yeah, probably not going to be ahead. King high, I'm going to jam. It's pretty close with King 4. King 8 plus, I always jam. I think any kings are jamming this spot with 11 big blinds. And just the fact that Mel is very tight. So that's just also, adjusting to our opponent. 8-4 suited. I can peel here for one big blind more. Pretty close. Like I say, we want to hold on to many chips, but with suited connectors, I know the gap connectors, I think that's close to fine. She just opened it as the Jack Jack Deuce. Ace 9's a jam. Very strong hand heads up. She's thinking about it. She goes for the fold. I'll show. Lots of fun to be had, obviously, on Virgin Games, Wild Sea Poker. As you can see, the chat room is kind of like it reminds me a bit like the old bingo days, or the current bingo days. Like it builds a community, it builds a chat room, lots of people just having fun. I think I've got to call this. She's got nothing. Nice. Good. Bluff called, Mel. Just didn't feel right, did it? She probably just raises with an ace. Going to go all in with a suited jack. Don't want to call here, by the way, guys. I'm not going all in because I want action. It's just because we want to take the blinds down. We need to hold. No ace or nine, and we win it all. This is brutal on the river. We nearly had it. All in with a7 suited. Get a fold. That was pretty unlucky. 3-9 suited. I think any suited hand can go in for 12 big blinds. Some sit and go wizards may disagree, but Mel just folds an awful lot of the time. So anything like that, I think we can just go ahead and jam in there. Queen 8 suited will be a call. Slightly above average hand. If she limps, I'll go all in. Nope, she's folding. See, now it's like a little bit scared of my all-ins. So I'm managing to get her to fold the blinds and I'm managing to go all in versus them. I'm going to try and min-raise here and just see what happens. We can definitely err on the side of folding, but because she just folds so much, you know, I wanted to just see how that reacted. We make a pair, we're just going to check down and hope to win here. That's a shame, we're going to just fold. Hindsight, maybe shouldn't have done that, but all's good, all's good. 5-3 suited will be a fold or a check. We make a pair. Hopefully we do not face a bet. We're going to lead here because we don't want them to Mel to get there with, you know, 2 overs because they're going to have equity versus everything. Mel says this is not bingo, John. You see this? I'm getting some abuse in the chat. I could maybe have done that 8 deuce suited. It's close. This is not bingo, John. Just talking about bingo. But to some, bingo, to some, perfect strategy. I'm happy with the way I'm playing. And I'm all in with King 3 suited. Yeah, a lot of these players are just not going to understand shoving ranges and, you know, blinds and, you know, anything like that really. So lots of money to be made. Gonna go check the Queen 7 here. Blinds have just gone up. So it's pretty close. We could have maybe jammed that pre. Gonna check here. Might have the best hand with Queen High. Sadly, we're gonna have to fold though. This game's gone on a lot longer than I expected, but that's good. Good for the video. Gonna fold Jack 4. Jack 8 suited. Gonna check. And we make a pair. Gonna lead half pot. And we're going to check, and I think I might call if Mel bets, repping an ace. And that goes check, check, and I win. Nice. We've pulled back a bit of a chip disadvantage. King 9's an all-in for 10 big blinds. Nice. Now it's time to really crush. Go, go, go. Queen 8, interesting. Gonna go all in. No limping on my watch, Mel. Yeah, thought so. That's just how she plays, I think. We could have £10,000 under here, guys. Ace Queen is just an all-in. No deuce, and we win it all. No deuce on the river. Boom. Let's see what we would have won. Well, what we have won, sorry. Make sure Mel would have only got £2. We win £4. That's good. Make 4 times our investment. So yeah, that was part 1 of 4 of Virgin Games Wild Seat Poker. We made some money, we had some fun, and I hope I showed it off perfectly. Didn't think the game would last that long, but it'd be interesting what you guys think about how I played the hands, any strategy advice, and yeah, get signed up. Let's play some poker together. So this was John for PokerVIP.com.